Okay, hi everybody. Thanks again for joining us. My name is Krista Mueller. I'm here today with Karen Wiley. Karen, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Karen Wiley. I'm the Director of Athletics at McHenry County College, entering my 6th year here, and I'm excited to be here. Thanks for asking me.
So can you tell us a little bit about the athletic department in general?
Sure. Our athletic department, we offer 8 sports. In the fall, we have women's volleyball, men's soccer, and women's tennis. And in the winter, we offer men's basketball, women's basketball, and in the spring, we offer softball, baseball, and men's tennis.
And in addition to the sports that we have, what different teams do they compete with, or what different what would you call it, collegiate conferences are we part of?
Sure. We compete in the Illinois Skyway Conference. There's 8 teams, which you're going to test me here, which is Oakton Community College, Elgin Community College, Rain Valley Community College, College of Lake County, Waubonsie Valley, ourselves, Morton, and I think that's it. We are competing in the National Junior College Association. They're our national governing body.
And for students who are looking to get involved, how do they start getting involved on athletics here at MCC?
Why, sure. Well, on our website, we actually have a new website. If you go to mchenry.edu, it'll link you to an athletics webpage. At that point, just click on to the new mccscots.com. You can go there directly to mccscots.com. And if you go into Inside Athletics, there's a Recruit Me page. And if you'd like to get your information to one of our coaches, as soon as you fill it out, it electronically sends to me, and I will make sure our appropriate head coach will receive that information within the next day or two. You should hear from the coach. Each coach does a great deal of recruiting throughout the year. We love to have our rosters full. We will take a look, and we have anybody from in district to Wisconsin to out of state. We recruit throughout the year, not just June, July, and August. Recruit Me page would be one step into it. The coach will contact. Once we get back on campus in August, our hopes, we do tryouts for each sport. And that's typically within the first 2 weeks of school. I believe it's an August 20 start date. So those tryouts are usually that first 2 weeks for each of our sports. If you'd like to contact our head coach, there is a directory and an email for each of our head coaches as well, or just kwiley@mchenry.edu, and I'll be sure to get any information or question you might have to the appropriate coach. Tryouts, like I said, are usually in the fall. Every sport, which is really difficult now, there is no off season. So every sport is practicing, competing, training in the fall. So if you're interested in a spring sport, don't wait until the spring. Get your name out there to us now.
And what point, I know you mentioned to reach out immediately, but is that you're talking about high school seniors, or what point does someone reach out to you?
Good question. We usually, it's that beginning of the senior year or the end of your junior year. We can recruit. We're a little bit different than NCAA. NCAA has dead periods, live periods, contact periods. Can make contact, can't make contact. We are not under those same auspices. So technically we can have contact with any age at any time. But we usually, it's that late junior, definitely your start of your senior years when we are making contact, offer the campus visits. Love to have you on campus to show you what we can offer.
Okay, so if the person's out of that window, it's still okay to reach out to you anyway?
Oh yeah, and if it's even now, reach out to us. We'll be honest, if we have roster spots available still, I believe all of our sports do. have a few roster spots that are open. And with tryouts, we would welcome you to come to those tryouts, most definitely.
So a student starts with MCC and they're taking some classes, and if they're on a team, with MCC maybe a couple years, and then they might transfer on to a different institution. Do some students go on to play at their other institutions?
That's what we're really after. When I came on board here at McHenry, that was my goal, is to have coaches that wanted to recruit those kids, student athletes that are on campus that want to play at the next level. A great deal. I don't know the exact percentage, but that's what we're after, is to recruit those kids in, those student athletes in that want to play at the next level, to compete, but then also continue your academic career as well. So yes, and that's our goal.
And so for a student who is on a team and also taking classes, how does the student balance that, or what is a typical experience like for an athlete at MCC?
Good. Our classes for our student athletes, we ask for them to be done by 1 o'clock, especially those spring sports. You need the outside, and especially in the fall, it starts to get dark sooner and sooner. And in the springtime, they'll be on the road by 1 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock to get to the location, to get the doubleheader going, and then get back and finish it before it gets dark. So it is a 1 o'clock is our goal. Academics always come first. If there is, we ran into some labs that required that person to be in there till 2 or 3, and so be it. We'll work around your schedule, but the majority of us are done by 1 o'clock. Inside, we have at a certain time in the year, we have volleyball that goes through the gym, and then women's basketball, and then a men's basketball practice. So it's a busy location, and we need to have those student athletes completed with those classes so that we can get the practices in. And then also when they're competing, that we're not pulling them out of class. Ideally, you never miss a class, and you'll be back in time to obviously get your classes in the morning.
So you work with advisors and other staff to ensure that you have a really tight schedule between classes and your team?
Advising's been absolutely awesome. Christy Broda is our student athlete academic advisor, and we ask that our student athletes refer to her. She has the listing of our coaches' preferences as far as start times, end times, and what days, especially. For example, volleyball travels a great deal on the weekends to tournaments, very competitive tournaments. So they've asked not to have any Friday classes, and that is totally doable, to have 12, 15 credits to have and not have a Friday class. But Christy Broda does an amazing job for us in advising. A lot of communications.
Is there any expectation as far as how many credits or classes you want your athletes to be in, or kind of along those lines, like, can you just take one class and be on a team, or can you take 18 credits and be on a team? Like, how does that work?
Good questions. To be eligible to compete, you need to be enrolled full time, which is at least 12 hours. We ask that our student athletes are enrolled in at least 15. That way they graduate. We need 60 credits, the right credits, to graduate. So most of our athletes are enrolled in at least 12 and ideally 15. You could register for up to 18, but that is quite a juggle between your practices and games and classes. So the majority, I would say, are enrolled in the 15 credits. And it's like a jigsaw puzzle, I tell them. It's finding the right classes at the right times, and those ones that you need to graduate. We're not just fluffing the schedules, but we're making progress towards graduation. And with great help from Christy, we see more and more of that.
I don't remember if you mentioned this already. I was kind of organizing some things in the beginning. Have you, how have the teams been doing the last couple of years? Have they been winning any conferences or anything like that?
Yes, we are very competitive. We're very competitive. Our volleyball team qualified for nationals this year, actually finished 7th in the nation. Our soccer team, our men's soccer team has a new coach. Joshua Hill will be leading our men's soccer team this year. Jim Stockwell, who is also a full-time faculty member, teaching journalism, a very popular instructor on campus, is our men's tennis and our women's tennis coach. And they also qualified for nationals and won the conference and were undefeated in the conference. Women's basketball, I'm also the women's basketball coach. We won the conference. We also had the player of the year. Our men's basketball coach, Kelly Love, and Ryan Skinner, assistant coach Ryan Skinner, had our men's basketball program and have done an exceptional job increasing the talent that we have. And we've had, I believe, 3 of our sophomores that have gone on now this year to play on at the next level. Ryan Skinner also played at McHenry a few years back now, but he's come back and is a loyal purple and gold. And then as we move into the spring, this season, obviously, our seasons were canceled, finished much too early. But Jared Wacker heads our baseball program, does an exceptional job moving on our men to all different levels, anything from a Division I South Carolina to NAIA to Division III. He has, I believe it was over 20 that he moved on to the next level last year and was well on his way this year with his group as well. Wally Warner coaches our softball team and had an exceptionally good squad ready to compete this year before it ended too soon, but is always in the top 1 or 2 in our conference. So highly competitive. We love having this area student athletes. We recruit them as hard and as much as early as we can. But we also have a few that are out of district that complete and raise all of our rosters to a whole nother level. We typically have right around 130 total student athletes in those 8 sports.
So it's really unfortunate to hear because, we're all in the same boat right now as far as the spring and in the summer. Do we have any information about what's going on right now with athletics or what might be looking at for the next couple semesters?
Sure. Right now, the NJCAA did have a mandate that all face-to-face recruiting was not to take place until May 15th. That has been lifted. We've met that May 15th. We can have face-to-face contact with all of our recruits and continue recruiting. And then after that, and actually as we speak, the NJCAA president, Dr. Chris Parker, is having a Zoom meeting with the college presidents asking the same questions that you just asked. Right now, we're in a wait and see, and we're in a holding pattern. And there are no knee-jerk type decisions that are made. I don't believe it's going to be mandated from the top. I think a lot of it's going to be based on so much regionally, state-wise. Each state's a little bit different. We're even finding in Illinois, each region is a little bit different as what we can and cannot do. As far as our college goes, we know that we are not on campus until the end of the month. June is still a wait and see. I think our decisions will be based on science and will be well thought out. It'll have our board trustees will have a voice, and Dr. Gabbard has remained quite steady and sure and in the decisions he's made. We're very, very fortunate in our athletic department to have such great administrative support from Dr. Gabbard, Dr. Kronkowitz, have been great supporters of our programs. So it's tough to say. I don't know, but I don't know.
I think regardless, people who are thinking about joining teams and thinking about getting into athletics should just jump on contacting you, asking questions, right? Can you want to give your contact information again?
Absolutely. And I can't urge that enough. For right now, it's all systems go. We're planning our fall seasons. We have our fall schedules set up. We have our fall scholarships. We have our athletic awards. We're moving ahead, and we're not just standing and waiting, but we're planning on that fall season. So please do contact me or that Recruit Me page. My direct contact is K Wiley, that's KWILEY at mchenry.edu. My number is 815-455-8547. And that'll be the college phone.
Thanks. Anything else you want to add, Karen, before we wrap up?
I appreciate it. And there's great things are happening. You know, you can come in and have a built-in family. We're here. You'll know who to go to right away. You have your teammates. We've found that there's greater persistence. There's a higher GPA with kids that are in, student athletes that are in season than out of season. There's a great deal of organizational skills that are developed through it. And we would love to see you on campus in the fall.
All right. Thank you so much, Karen. We appreciate it.
Thank
Talk
you.
to everybody later.